ちちゲイル地味地味ルイージおどおろろぼえそかすうまかやまんばバンバンケケルククケほほルイージにおどおやペンペンそかすくすくういやまんばちゃっちゃちゃっちゃちゃっちゃはぽケケまぬまくんおむがおやまサメの竹そいそう
Egad, what are you... Sorry about that, guys. Egad sometimes thinks that he's running the show. Anyways, yes, I am showing you the portrait ghost today. We are going to be talking about a total of 10. Now, as you can see on the map of the mansion where I labeled the portrait ghost, there's a lot more than 10. But I figured you guys would more prefer if I go really in-depth about 10 than rather just kind of go over, like, 50. If these videos do really well, then maybe I'll do individual concepts of each individual ghost for a video, kind of like GamerJube does on their channel for all those different character concept series they do. But regardless, we're gonna get into it, so let's get started with the first portrait ghost. So first up, we have Lucky. He is 35 years old, and here's his little bio. Lucky was a world-famous detective known for solving the mysterious disappearance of King Toad III. He met an untimely demise in Boo Manor and is determined to figure out who did it. Now, I did talk about Lucky quite a bit in one of the other parts, but to recap, in Area 4 of this game, all of the portrait ghosts that you fight are suspects in the murder of Lucky. And each portrait ghost in that area has a clue that helps you deduce which one of those ghosts was the one that committed the murder. These clues would be vague things, like about hair color, like about fashion choice, etc. And if you solve the murder correctly, then Lucky would let you go and not harm you at all and just give you a key. But if you were to get it wrong, Lucky would be very upset with you for not doing him justice and he would attack you. He would technically be the main boss for Area 4, but there is actually one other boss you would have to defeat before proceeding to Area 5, but we'll talk about that ghost in a little bit. Next up is Eva, who is 42 years old, or I guess was when she passed away. Eva is King Boo's personal security camera monitor. She was also very tech-savvy in her mortal life, and that's led to her being able to manipulate technology in the afterlife. Fun fact, Eva is Jack's sister. Now you'll meet Jack later, but let's talk about Eva a little bit. She resides in the security office that you guys saw in part 2. As you've noticed in the background, there are a bunch of cameras that link to other parts of the mansion. In your fight with Eva, she would manipulate these security cameras and hop between them because, as I mentioned, she can manipulate and use technology to her advantage. So, Luigi would have to pay attention to all of the different computer screens to figure out which one she's in. Whatever one she ends up being in, that's the one Luigi has to shine his flashlight at or use the strobe bulb on, depending on if you have the upgrade or not. If you get the correct screen, then Eva will be caught and be forced to come out of the security screen and you'll get an opportunity to suck her up. But if you get it wrong, she will jump scare you out of the camera almost Five Nights at Freddy's style and take out a little bit of health. But as you can see by the basement camera, she can also make camera feeds go unavailable temporarily, so as the boss fight goes along and you take out more of her health, there'll be times where you cannot see the camera feed, so it'll be harder to see where she is. This makes it where sometimes you have to use the law of deduction where, if she's not in any of these other 4 cameras, she must be in the 5th one. And do that enough times and suck down her health all the way down to 0, you'll eventually catch her. Next up is Mr. Z, who is 62. Mr. Z has been asleep in the attic for 27 years and would like to keep it that way. Make sure when you're exploring his room not to wake him up or to steal his precious teddy. Now Mr. Z resides in the decrepit bedroom, and he is sleeping on the bed and you ideally do not want to wake him up. Now Mr. Z is one of the optional portrait ghosts. You do not have to fight Mr. Z at all. The only reason you would need to go into Mr. Z's room is to get access to the roof, as you can see the door leading to the ladder that goes up to the roof. However, if you come in here during a blackout when there's ghosts in here, if you disturb him using either a burst, one of the elements, or anything else in his general direction, or if you're feeling mischievous and want to steal his teddy bear, that will initiate him to go into his boss fight mode. And as you can see, he has red eyes, kind of almost being like one of the experimental ghosts, but not as extreme. He is a very strong ghost to take down though, so this is a ghost you want to take down if you want that 100% completion. His fight would be pretty standard though. He attacks, you wait for a moment of weakness, you strobe bulb him or stun him with your flashlight and then suck him up. He's not that complicated, but he's very strong and very fast, so keep an eye out for that. Next up is Luigi, age 35. Hearing the many heroic stories of Luigi, he has become obsessed with the Green Plumber. He has stolen many valuable possessions of Luigi's and would do anything to meet Luigi in person. Obviously, Luigi resides in the Fanatics room. All of these little knickknacks that Luigi has stolen from Luigi are his. Luigi is actually a really easy ghost to defeat. He'll just let you suck him up. He has heard many stories from other ghosts about being captured by Luigi, that he wants that opportunity and that luxury to be able to be one of them to talk about his experience with Luigi. So you can just suck him right up. So while Luigi is very easy to capture and may even be considered a non-threat, he is pretty important to the story, but he will be mentioned a little bit more in this series' finale. Alright, next up. What's going on?
そいそうんてくるはんぶーうまかていへいうるそかすくすくういやまんばおやおやしけしけすくすくそいそうおろろためのたけそいそうそいそうてくるはそかすくすくじれぴんひびでば
Oh, thanks, Egad. Yeah, all that merch that you just saw is available for you to get. So click the link down in the description down below to look at the Luigi's Mansion 4 merch, and there might even be some new stuff up there in the near future. So definitely check it out. Wow, this ghost looks familiar, huh? This is Melody Pianissima, age 26. Melody has an eye for beautiful music. When she isn't gawking over Amadeus Wolfgeist's perfect piano playing, she is using the ghosts from the mansion to form a band and make her own music. If you remember, in Luigi's Mansion 1, Melody loved playing the piano, but eventually that wasn't enough for her. She wanted to make music and be in more control over a variety of different instruments. So she resides in this music room where she can create a bunch of music using these fodder ghosts that play the instruments. So for Melody's fight, you enter the room and Melody is conducting a bunch of ghosts. They're all playing a variety of Nintendo tunes that you might recognize when you hear them play. But Luigi isn't interested in hearing them play classic Nintendo tunes, he's interested in sucking up all the ghosts. After defeating an array of ghosts playing a bunch of different instruments and even attacking you with said instruments, Melody gets all furious and starts to attack Luigi. Just like in the original game, she uses music sheets to attack you, and she even uses those music sheets to shield her eyes from Luigi's flashlight. Once you suck up all the music sheets and vacuum up the music sheets blocking Melody's eyes, you can stun her and suck her up. Next up is... whoa! What is this thing? It's definitely not human, but I can't describe what it is. Well, this is Power Surge with an unknown age. This mysterious specter showed up randomly in the cellar one day. His origin and composition is unknown, but we know he has an effect on the mansion's electricity. So yes, this ghost resides in the electrical room in that power grid that we see on the wall. Your objective is to destroy the two power generators on the left and right side, powering Power Surge up. You have to do it numerous times as Power Surge can decently repair each generator, so you have to go to each side multiple times. But on the ground there are these loose wires that you have to be careful for. Once you get decently far into the boss fight, loose wires will also come down from the ceiling, so you'll have to be careful and watch where you're walking. During this boss battle, regular Surge Ghosts will come along and try to stop you from making progress, but just like with how you defeat Surges regularly, you wait for the lights to flicker on, and then you can capture the Surges and proceed with the battle. After you defeat Power Surge, there will no longer be any regular Surge Ghosts or Blackouts through the rest of the game. Alright, so we're getting close to done. We just have 4 more ghosts to go through in this video. Now all the ghosts that we've talked about thus far are just the regular portrait ghosts that you fight normally. Now what about those final bosses in each area? You know, the more grand battles, the one that take place outside of the realm of the mansion. Well, I wanted to show you the first 4 out of the 8 boss fights you'd fight. Let's start with Area 1. In Area 1, there is actually an outside area that leads out into the woods. In these woods, you'd encounter a portrait ghost named Hank, who is 43 years old, and Hank is an avid nature lover and he died doing what he loved. After a tree fell on him, he mostly stayed in the woods and prefers his isolation. Whenever a tree falls mysteriously in these woods, Hank is usually the one responsible. When you disturb Hank in his sanctuary of peace, he transports you to this arena that's almost like Bogmire's arena from the original game. Hank brandishes an axe, which is his main form of attack, and what you have to do is you have to get Hank to slam his axe into one of the tree stumps along the arena. Once you do that, he'll be distracted enough to be able to be stunned and captured. His boss fight's pretty simple because he's the first major boss in the game, so it's not overly complicated. In Area 2, where there reside the returning portrait ghosts, the main boss in this area, as mentioned in Part 2, was Vincent Van Gogh. Vincent Van Gogh is 59 years old, and this artist may not have been very successful in his mortal life. However, he is determined to make his art known throughout the world, even in his afterlife. So Vincent Van Gogh has another art studio where he's painting ghosts and bringing them to life. When Luigi stumbles upon Van Gogh in his studio, Van Gogh transports Luigi into one of his paintings, almost like Mario 64 style. In this painting, Luigi is put onto an arena that is in the style of a canvas with multiple canvases with different common ghosts facing Luigi. Throughout the battle, Van Gogh will spray paint onto this field. Now in Area 2, you get the Water Elemental, and almost like Flood from Super Mario Sunshine, Luigi can use his Water Elemental to clean the paint off of the canvas. If Luigi walks into the paint, he'll be severely slowed down. Van Gogh during the battle will also summon common ghosts from these paintings. Also using the water ability, Luigi can destroy these paintings. When these paintings are destroyed, Van Gogh will come back out and try to attack Luigi. And when Van Gogh breaks off, he'll bring more paintings onto the pitch and you rinse and repeat. Once you get him down to 0, he is captured, and that is the end of Area 2. And here's the boss of Area 3. His name is Jack and he is 39 years old. While Jack may be a great dealer of cards, he's not great with people. He doesn't like to play games anymore. In the afterlife, he has actually become a professional card thrower. Fun fact, Jack is the brother of Eva, who we mentioned earlier in this video. When you stumble upon Jack, he teleports you to this poker table. This poker table is where the battle mainly takes place, and Jack has 2 main methods of attack. His main attack is this roulette wheel. Every now and again, he will spin this roulette wheel, and whatever it lands on is the punishment that is dealt to Luigi. The 4 punishments are fire, ice, dice, and ghosts. The fire and ice Luigi can combat with his water and fire elementals respectively. The dice attack is where a bunch of giant dice will be tossed onto the pitch and Luigi has to move and avoid all of them. And then the ghosts means that a bunch of common ghosts will spawn and you'll have to take them out before proceeding with the battle. There's also random selection, where one of the 4 selections we had talked about earlier will randomly be chosen and thrown upon Luigi with no warning. The main way to proceed with the battle is to destroy this roulette wheel, which you can do by using the dice. When the dice are brought onto the field, you can vacuum them up and shoot them at the roulette. Once the roulette is broken, all you have to do is defeat Jack. Now, as mentioned, Jack is a professional card thrower, so he throws cards at you as his main method of attack. When Jack runs out of cards, or if you manage to take his cards away from him, that is when you can stun him and capture him. The last portrait ghost I want to talk about today is Boolossus. Come on, you guys should have seen this one coming. When there are many boos in one area, they can huddle together to make one big boo. The only way to defeat a big boo is to take out each boo that's inside of it. So this fight happens on the balcony just outside of the 4th floor. Once you either solve Lucky's mystery or have to capture up Lucky, you proceed to head to the 5th area but are stopped by Boolossus. A battle then takes place on the balcony where you have to take down Boolossus. This boss kind of resembles Boolossus' battle in Luigi's Mansion 3, where what you have to do is wait for Boolossus to send out a bunch of spike balls, shoot them at Boolossus, and then once Boolossus splits into a bunch of little boos, all of the boos actually go invisible and you have to use the dark light to find them. In this game, the main objective with the boos is to actually suck them up as opposed to just slamming them into the ground like in Luigi's Mansion 3. So if you have a huddle of boos, then you can suck up a bunch of them together, but if you're only able to get boos that are widely spread apart, you can try to capture one and then try to maybe get another one, but you might not be able to do it that fast. There are 15 boos total in Boolossus, so once you capture all 15 boos, then the battle is over. Speaking of the boos, they return. I wanted to throw them into this video because I'm obviously talking about Boolossus. There's typically 3 in each area, making for a grand total of 24 before adding Boolossus' 15, making a grand total of 39. Just like in Luigi's Mansions 1 and 3, your EGAD device will let you know when there is a boo nearby, and you'll know when boo's nearby when a certain selection of music plays. You're hearing a little bit of that selection right now, but you'll definitely get to hear a lot more of it next week. Just like in Luigi's Mansion 1, you need a certain amount of boos to face up against King Boo. You need at least 30 of the 39 boos in this game to go up against King Boo. And if you manage to catch all the boos, then you're awarded certain cosmetic things for your Poltergust, like a sticker as well as a white Poltergust Ultima. So there you have it, guys. Those are the portrait ghost ideas I have for Luigi's Mansion 4. I really hope you guys enjoyed them. And if you did, definitely make sure to drop a like on this video. I would truly appreciate it. And next time, you guys, we're going to be going over the music. I cannot wait to show you guys the music I have done for this game. And yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff down below. And until next time, you guys, I'll see you in the next part.